A milestone episode needs a milestone guest. But he's not a guest no more. He's family, making his illustrious return to the Flex Zone podcast. You've seen him on the videos, you've seen him on the interweb, and you've seen him here on the Flex Zone podcast. Our boy, friend of the program, Ingraven, special guest for episode 350. Of course, we're talking Ravens, talking about that disrespectful top 10 quarterback list, contract situation, and the 2022 season outlook as well. You know, I got Big Raj, the voice of reason, Crevonte, and of course, the birthday boy, Drizzy Dre. The Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. If you're watching right now, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell for all notifications. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Flex Zone podcast. Oh, more heated, more exciting, more exhilarating than those primary elections. It is the Flex Zone podcast, fellas. Only place giving you your sports how you want it
when you need it.
And it is another illustrious milestone episode 350. No, not $3.50 to get on the NTA, but 350 episodes strong. Back here on the YouTube, on Facebook, and of course now on TikTok. The Flex On Podcast, again, only place giving you sports on all those social media platforms. We got another crazy, illustrious guest. We call him family now, making his return onto this program yet again. I'm going to get to him in a second, give him his introduction. But batting leadoff, social media producer, Big Raj. A lot of people filing in to see the man of the hour. Let them know how to keep up with us as well.
Hey, man, this is your boy, Big Raj, coming to you with another Flex Zone Faithful. Episode 350, super milestone. Got the guy, got the legend, got the number one Ravens man in the building. Ingraven be talking to us again about this upcoming season. So please check it out, man. It's going to be a very, very great interview as always. So I can't wait to talk to him.
This next man, captain of the Goofy ship, voice of reason, the Mandalorian himself, the captain. He has a birthday coming up not too long from now. Make sure you salute him. Commander Crevonte, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? I can't believe, I couldn't believe my ears and my eyes. You said we on this TikTok. I was like, oh, the kids. I was thinking about my kids at the rec. I was like, God dog it. Now I gotta be involved. They always ask, do you got TikTok? I was like, nah, I don't. And now it's like, God damn it, I gotta get to it. I gotta get around to it, guys. But it's all good. Monday nights, I can't wait. Ingraven is back in the building. This is going to be a lit show.
This next man just had a lit weekend as he's still celebrating his birthday. It's Dre Day. It's his birthday. Taking more shots than anybody I know. The man, the myth, the legend, who gets younger each year. The A-lister, the straw that stirs the drink, the super producer himself, the executive producer, Pride of the East Side, Savior Misbehavior. My boy, Drizzy Dre. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, America? Man, I'm happy to see another year, man. I'm just grateful, and episode 350, man. We got a very special guest. I'm really excited about this.
Well, without further ado, this is the man of the hour, the number one Ravens YouTuber on all of the interweb. You can follow him at IngravenVids, of course, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok as well. He keeps you up to date. He gives it to you raw and uncut, breaking it down like nobody does. He pulls topics from everywhere and he keeps it clean because his team keep it clean. There is no I in team, but there's an I in Ingraven. And he's back on the Flex Zone podcast, baby. Bring him in and he's smiling. I must have did a good job. My boy Ingraven, give it up for him.
I see it. Man, y'all sure got some intros, man. I'm in the background while the intro is playing for the whole video. I'm over here vibing to it and whatnot. And then y'all got the intros with the wordplay and all that too. I see you, man.
Hey, man, you're not a guest no more. You're family. You're welcome anytime, brother. First of all, how you doing? Do you ever sleep? How's the family? What's going on, my brother? I gotta ask you, man.
Oh man, I get plenty of sleep, man. We get a whole lot of sleep. Sometimes we need a little bit more, but it's all part of the process, man. The family's doing good. We're doing good. We were a little under the weather over the past week and change, but we straight. So everything is good. I'm looking forward to Ravens training camp next week, the open practice next week, and just this off season, it flew by, man, and it went by almost too fast for me. I needed a little more time, like off. I needed a little more slow season, but this slow season is no more because training camp is literally right around the corner, man.
Hey, like we said, the open practice. So will you be making another appearance at the open practice? You are always around, brother.
I wouldn't call it an appearance. I'll be going, but appearances for special people. Man. We ain't nobody special. Appearances for special people, but yeah, we'll be there again. That's where I met you at last year, the open practice, and so yeah, we'll be there, man.
I'll probably be down there again because I'm damn sure gonna be down there again. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see what this team looks like. I can't wait to see what the wide receivers look like because it's a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. I don't yikes. I don't think they've done that wide receiver, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what the future holds in the future.
Wow. Hey, well, let's get to it. We talked about the foundation, much like yourself. It starts with Lamar Jackson, the grade 8, Action Jackson, the unanimous MVP. The accolades are continuous. He's bulked up Ingraven. You've talked about it. Looks like he is primed for another breakout season. Disrespected not being on the top 10 list. How do you feel about Lamar Jackson entering the season, not being a top 10 quarterback, which we think we know he is, and just his outlook going into the season?
I just think, just like any other season, he's ready. I feel like Lamar Jackson, we got a different Lamar Jackson right now, though. We so used to Lamar Jackson being talked about, being slandered, being talked about in a negative aspect, and not even criticized. Because there ain't nothing wrong with criticizing Lamar. Ain't nothing wrong with criticizing anybody in the NFL. They're gonna get criticized. Criticism should be expected. But you always know with Lamar Jackson is way different. And it's just so many people come from left field with this and that. And it goes from, it's not even a thin line between criticism and hate. They're very different and they're very far from each other. But there's a lot of people that just hate on Lamar Jackson. People are so used to tradition. And when tradition gets interrupted, especially if tradition gets interrupted by somebody that's interrupting it successfully, that's a problem right there. They don't like that. And that's exactly who Lamar Jackson is. He's somebody that's interrupted tradition successfully. So a lot of people, they let the hate flow freely at that point. But we're so used to Lamar Jackson being hated on and being quiet, being silent, and not saying much, not calling nobody out, just letting it ride, letting people talk their talk. And there's nothing wrong with that, to each his own. But the Lamar Jackson we're getting right now, he ain't with that no more. Lamar Jackson has shown, like with Bernard Pollard, he called him out. He said, whoa. And then he kept calling him out and kept calling him out and kept calling him out. And I was like, Lamar, okay, man. But then, like with Chris, the one who does pro football, Chris Sims, he called him out too on a report from like about a month ago. So Lamar Jackson has been a lot more vocal than the Lamar Jackson that we used to from before. He's been speaking his mind and letting it be known. And is it a coincidence that he's doing that all of a sudden in year 5, 5th year option, big contract coming up? It could be, but it could just be that he's just tired. He's just tired of being tried. He's just tired of being disrespected. He's just tired of being poked. And he said enough is enough. So Lamar Jackson this year, I just feel like we're gonna get. We know we've known from jump, literally from the beginning of his NFL career, that he is extremely motivated. People have literally been doubting this dude before he even stepped on an NFL football field. And they've been doubting him way before that too. But since we're talking NFL, people have been doubting him his entire professional career before he even threw a football on the NFL level. So when you think about that, like, man, you've been doing this thing, you're going into your 5th year, and people are still trying to question what you do, even though you've had a lot of success over the years. Your record speaks for itself, and I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, there's no such thing as QB wins." With Lamar Jackson, there certainly are, because of his impact on the game. And like you mentioned before we got into this segment, top 10 quarterback without a doubt. Because there's one thing, he could put up all the pretty numbers and all that, and he's done that before, which is cool. It was great. But the thing with Lamar Jackson is that he wills this team to winning. With Lamar Jackson, if you were to take him off the Ravens and put a lot of other quarterbacks on the Ravens, they wouldn't be winning. And that's like, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing all at the same time. It's a good thing because, hey, it shows just how valuable Lamar Jackson is to the Ravens. But it's a bad thing because it shows the lack of what's around him. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I just think we're gonna get an even more motivated Lamar Jackson, who's looking to shut a lot of people up. But at the same time, I hope that he doesn't play to shut people up. And what I mean when I say that, I hope he doesn't go out there and play prove it ball. Like, all right, let me show these people that I can do this just to shut them. No. Go out there, keep doing your thing, keep doing what you've been doing. Of course, work on this, work on that to get better. But don't go playing trying to prove people wrong. Go playing trying to win.
I.e. Kevin Durant. Got
it. Hey, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Ingraven is in the building. Thank you all for watching. Hello to everybody. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. The fella's gonna get in here and ask you some questions, Ingraven, and we're gonna keep vibing.
Cool.
Well, I got a quick question for you, Ingraven. I know you literally just seen Lamar Jackson. You and your son. I know your son was very excited to see Lamar.
Yeah.
My question is this, man. Since you
he's that big. yeah.
Well, you answered it. So, I mean, I'm glad he looks the part. I'm glad that he was saying that he was working during the off season, and he said he was doing his own thing. So I'm glad that he looks the part. Hopefully, he can take a licking because we're gonna need him for this whole 17 game season, man.
Now, see, that's tricky right there. Because one thing, he does look significantly bigger. But something that we got to remember is that they haven't hit training camp yet. So This is a time when a lot of players, they bulking up, they getting bigger, but they're not at their football weight. Because once training camp starts, they're going to be out there in that heat over and over, repetitive, and they're going to be shedding a lot of their weight. So I wouldn't expect Lamar Jackson I expect him to be bigger, but not as big as he is now, because a lot of that weight is going to end up coming off. Something that you mentioned about we obviously need him the whole season for sure. It's 17 games. It's an even longer season now. And we saw glimpses of what life was like without Lamar Jackson last year, and it wasn't pretty. Obviously, it was ugly. But I wonder how they're gonna use Lamar Jackson this year. Because you mentioned we want him to be able to take a licking. We actually don't want him to take a licking. And that goes in two different ways. One of those ways is the offensive line. And Ravens have clearly put in a lot of investments. There's significant investments into the offensive line. And we commend them for that, which is great. But now you have to go off of that, but you got to do more. It doesn't stop there, because now a lot is up to their scheme, their philosophy, the offense, how they use Lamar Jackson. Is this just going to be another year where it's the Lamar Jackson show? Lamar, we want you to lead the team in passing and rushing too. I think if Lamar Jackson is leading the team in rushing, it looks pretty up on the stat sheet and whatever. Oh, it's nice. Lamar leading the team. Oh, he's doing so much for the team. But that, to me, would not be a good idea. We have running backs for a reason. And we know Lamar's going to get his. Nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But they got to be smart about it. And I think if they can reduce a lot of those design Lamar Jackson runs, not eliminate them, but reduce a lot of them, especially the ones where there's no misdirection, there's no fake handoff, the ones where he just keeps it and goes. And I know there's some fourth downs where they do that, and you already know how they play, but they got to get rid of a lot of those, because that's your quarterback. Like that's your quarterback. And I think the Ravens, they should have this thing like plastered on the wall all through the facility. Lamar Jackson is our quarterback. So they know like hey, this, he does not need to be leading the team in everything. Passing yards, obviously, passing touchdowns, obviously, interceptions, all that, all those passing, okay, great. But when it comes to rushing yards, he does not need to lead the team because that means that they have a lot of deficiencies elsewhere.
Okay.
Crevonte, did you have a question?
Oh no, yo, I let my Ravens people go first, please. By all means. By all means.
Come on, now don't do that too much. We could talk forever, man.
My question is, recently you touched on it a bit that he's been getting a lot of criticism, particularly from some former Ravens players such as Pollard and Shannon Sharp too. Are their criticisms fair, and do you agree with what they're saying about wide receivers not wanting to play with Lamar Jackson?
Not at all. Shannon Sharp should know better than anybody, especially the era that he played in. The whole wide receivers not wanting to play with Lamar Jackson. This why context is so important. Receivers just don't want to play for the Ravens. It ain't that they don't want to play for Lamar. They don't want to play for the Ravens. And it's been that way for a very long time because of Ravens' philosophy. Ravens' philosophy has been to run the ball, run, play some good defense. And it's been that way for a long time. There were a lot of receivers that didn't want to play when Joe Flacco was here. And thank goodness they got Anquan Bolden because that certainly worked out well. But it was the same thing back then. It was the same thing with Kyle Boller. It was the same thing with Steve It just happened constantly throughout the years to where Ravens have never been a team that's really even invested like that in quality wide receivers. They usually will get guys that are over the hill and whatnot. And I know a lot of the people have been talking about Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood. How Hollywood is the reason. I mean, Hollywood has shown that nobody wants to play with Lamar. That was Lamar's best friend, and he still asked for a trade. This is why context is important because Hollywood, he's in his 4th year. The Cardinals just picked up his 5th-year option, but Hollywood he's getting ready to get paid. He's getting ready to be in contract time. I mean, he could get a contract now, but they picked up the 5th-year option, so they could put it on hold for another year. But now is his time to shine. If Hollywood, as a wide receiver, would you rather be in a run-first offense, and they run first, run second, third, fourth, or a pass-first offense? They're going to go to a pass-first offense, especially if you're familiar with the quarterback, too. Like, this quarterback helped you become a first-round pick, and vice versa. So, with Kyler Murray. So, it was not a surprise or a shocker that he wanted to be traded. And then this whole trade with Hollywood, too. A lot of the analysts and experts and all that, they were talking like this was some brand new information or something like that. No, Hollywood been talking about this for 2 years. He's been talking about this for 2 years. So this is not a trade that like happened out of the blue or anything like that. Something else that I know Shannon Sharp mentioned is specifically about Lamar Jackson. He said he agreed with Bernard Pollard's assessment of him, that he's not that good a thrower of football. He's not consistent. That's what Shannon Sharp says a lot of times. He's not a consistent thrower of the football. He has accuracy issues. And something that he specifically said that he said Lamar Jackson needs to learn how to throw from the pocket. He needs to throw from the pocket. And Bernard Pollard, in his exchange with Lamar Jackson the other night, he had mentioned that as well when they were going back and forth. But you know what's crazy is that we can go back to 2019, the MVP year. And I'm not somebody who likes doing that. I don't like, because I know there are a lot of Ravens fans, not even just Ravens fans, but people who just always go back to 2019. And it's like, all right, that was 2019. It was great, but that doesn't have to be the crutch when talking about Lamar Jackson. But I use that to say this, that he led the league in touchdown passes from the pocket. And I think he led in passer rating from the pocket too. But then in 2020, the following year, he lost Ronnie Stanley and Marshall Yonder retired. I know my guy Josh Hoffman, he won't let me forget that one, but that's a big factor. So he didn't have a pocket. So he didn't have an offensive line. So how can you throw passes from the pocket if you ain't even got one? And then last year, Ronnie Stanley was out again, and every offensive lineman was out at some point, and besides Kevin Zeitler. But the offensive line was ugly, even uglier last year than it was in 2020. So again, the talk about, hey, Lamar needs to learn how to throw from the pocket. How can you learn to throw from something that's not even in front of you, that's always collapsing? So this is why context means so much. But I think with a lot of with Bernard Pollard, it's weird because initially, like, I would see Bernard Pollard talking about Lamar Jackson, and I'd be like, okay, all right, he not a fan of Lamar Jackson. All right, whatever. He doesn't feel like he could throw. All right, whatever. All right, cool. Everybody got their own opinion. I don't agree with it, but everybody entitled to their own opinion. But with Bernard Pollard, sometimes it would just seem like he would just be doing a little bit extra when it came to Lamar Jackson. And it was like, it's kind of weird. Like he would really be going in. Like, it's one thing, oh man, I don't like this player because, or I don't like this player's play style because of X, Y, and Z. But with Lamar, it just felt like there's a little bit extra. And some people have brought up that, oh, maybe they feel like Bernard Pollard may be taking his frustration out with the Ravens and John Harbaugh sort of on Lamar Jackson, maybe projecting that frustration on Lamar Jackson. And that could be the case. I think that's part of it.
That's weird. That's weird.
with Shannon Sharp, I think it's one of those things to where he doesn't have the context, and it's a lot with a lot of the analysts and the experts and all that. You gotta realize where they're coming from. And Shannon Sharp has come out and said this before, not specifically about the Ravens, but it was about another situation. But I did appreciate the fact that he said it because we've been saying it before too, but I appreciated him acknowledging it. These guys, they got to get on TV and they got to talk about NFL football, but they also got to talk about NBA. They got to talk about WNBA. They got to talk about baseball. They got to talk about soccer. They got to talk about golf. They got to talk about all these different sports. So when you got to talk about so many different things, then you can't really specialize in one specific area or one specific team. So there's a lot that's going to get lost in translation when you're breaking down whatever's going on with a particular team. So I think that's a lot of what Shannon Sharp is going through, because he doesn't get the full story, because he got to focus on so many different, really a lot of these analysts, they got to focus on so many different things. And this is why fans, they follow these beat writers for their specific team so much, because those beat writers focus on that specific team. It's like, oh, okay, they get it. They understand what's going on. They know the background story. So I think that's a big part of it too.
Speaking of that, man, we had Cordell Woodland on last week, who's also a beat writer for the Ravens and the Orioles, works for 105.7. And he was talking about the same situation with Lamar and his accuracy and what he thinks. He doesn't. We asked him, do we think he's going to get a contract, before the season starts? He was like, he highly doubted. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you believe the same thing.
Woo. Lamar Jackson and that contract, that money talk. I just saw somebody in the comment section say they not the one to be in another man's pocket, but they feel like Lamar should get more than Deshaun. And I agree based off of trust alone.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, you know that whole all the allegations and whatnot. Anyway, with Lamar Jackson, I am not sold that the Ravens are sold on him. I don't believe that the Ravens fully believe in Lamar Jackson. The reason I say that is because of the way that they built the team and the way that they've built the coaching staff over the years.
God dog it. There it is.
They have not committed to Lamar Jackson like that. And it's when you look around the league, it's sad to watch. The Bills, they were not sold on Josh Allen. They were like, you know what, man, this dude first round pick, high pick too. He threw some touchdowns. He threw a lot of interceptions too. Wow. Oh yeah, second year he did the same thing. You know what, Stephon Diggs. Let's go get one of the best receivers in the league. What did that do?
Helps a lot.
Elevated him.
He became a great quarterback. After
yeah. Josh Allen is a baller, man. I mean, with Justin Herbert. He was already taken care of as soon as he stepped foot with the Chargers. And you see what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Tua has been one of the most questioned quarterbacks ever since they even drafted him. Because a lot of people were like, they should have took Herbert. They should have took Herbert, but it's all good. But with Tua, it's been a lot of questions around Tua. What did Dolphins do? Like, all right, we draft Jalen Waddle. Okay, so we use a first round pick on a wide receiver. Cool. But you know what? Oh, we see one of the best receivers in the league, one of the most probably the biggest game-changing receiver in the league. Oh, he's disgruntled. Oh, he having problems over there. Oh, Tyreek Hill, come on home. You always be down here in Miami anyway. Might as well come through. Derek Carr had Darren Waller.
Yep.
Lost Henry Ruggs, so Henry Ruggs was on that other stuff. What'd they do? They say, you know what? Hunter Renfrow. Let's give Hunter Renfrow a contract. Nice slot receiver, does his thing. But nah, that's not enough. That's not Devontae. Hey, come through, man. Jalen Hurts. This guy gets talked about so bad as a quarterback. They drafted Devonta Smith, Heisman winner at the wide receiver position. Then they're like, you know what? That's not enough. We need more for you, Jalen Hurts. We want there to be no excuses. Hey, AJ Brown, come through, man. Come through.
So you telling me it's like a Charles Barkley situation when he was in Philly when he asked for Shaq, but he got Charles Shackelford. That's what you're trying to tell me.
I mean, look at Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray came in. Who did he have? I forgot who he had at first, but they were like, you know what? Oh, Kyler Murray, our young quarterback, who we drafted number 1 overall, DeAndre Hopkins. Come on, buddy. Oh, DeAndre Hopkins, he's been doing this thing. He's going to miss 6 games. But what our quarterback is going through something. He wants to get paid by us. He's going through something. Man, how can we make him happy? Oh, his teammate from Hollywood, bro. Let's get him too. They had Rondale Moore too. They had Christian Kirk. So you see what's going on with all these other young quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Then you look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Lamar Jackson. 2019, they brought in Hollywood. Like, okay. And I get in the benefit of the doubt for 2019. Because 2018, that's his rookie year. And it was like, okay, I ain't know about him. And then 2019 came through, did the MVP with Seth Roberts, Willie Snead, Hollywood Brown, Miles Boykin, Mark Andrews. I was like, okay.
Hayden Hurst,
yeah. So then 2020, that should have been the year right there. That should have been the year where they like, all right, hey, we about to go get our guy for Lamar Jackson. That should have been it.
I agree.
They say, you know what? Okay. We'll do a 3rd round pick on Devin Duvernay. We'll do a 5th or 6th round pick on a James Prochet. We'll bring back Willie Snead. Hey, we love that guy. We'll bring back Willie Snead. Oh, you know what? Later on, let's go get Dez Bryant. Throw up the X, baby. Even though he ain't played in 4 years? It was like, what? And I was actually, the sad part about it, I was excited for Dez Bryant. And that's how down we were. Well, me personally,
such a low bar.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And then now 2021, they drafted Rashad Bateman. I was like, okay, let's go. And they signed Sammy Watkins. So that I was cool with that one. I was cool with it last year because they had a proven guy and they drafted the person who I wanted in the 1st round, that being Rashad Bateman. But then the injuries messed everything up. So all right, cool. So now they found themselves in a crazy situation because Sammy Watkins was gone. We knew we knew before the season was even over, they weren't re-signing Sammy Watkins. But then they traded away Hollywood. So you would think, like, all right, still got Rashad Bateman. Hopefully he'll be healthy this year. Tylen Wallace last year, 4th round pick. James Prochet Duvernay, they back again. All right, Mark Andrews, that's a tight end, though. That's not a wide receiver. I know so many people, they love to do that. They love to be like, hey, we got Mark Andrews, though, man. What's up with that? Mark Andrews is great. He's phenomenal. He is not a wide receiver. He is a tight end. Stop settling, Ravens fans. Anyway, now it's 2022, and they traded away a receiver. They lost another receiver, and now what? Now what? This is one thing that worries me about this. This is my biggest worry about this season is the wide receiver room. Not to say they can't do it, but it's a scary situation to think about for a couple of things. One, a lot of unproven talent. How does unproven talent prove themselves? By proving themselves, by playing.
Hmm.
And then we'll get to see if they really like that or they're not like that. Hopefully they are, but we'll see. But another thing to think about, injury. I know we don't like playing the what if game. We hate it. But as a Raven fan, you got to think about that what if when it comes to injuries, because last year gave you a nice reminder about the what if, because all the what ifs happened. It was rough, man. But so I just with these, it's been time for Ravens to really provide Lamar. Everybody else is doing it, and not saying you got to be a copycat or nothing like that. You ain't got to cheat off of nobody's test or nothing like that.
No, cheat off the test.
No, but Ingraven, that's what the NFL does.
Yeah, it's a
That's
copycat
what the
league.
NFL does very well.
So, and then that's another thing too. People say, "Oh man, Lamar Jackson, I question his ability as a passer." Who have been Lamar Jackson's consistent outside threats? Who? I love Hollywood. That's my guy. But with him, it's very difficult because he was 5'9". He's a shorter, smaller stature receiver. So that sort of limits him a bit on the outside. That limits him as a receiver. And that you got to be like perfect for Hollywood when it comes to hitting him in stride with the ball. It's tough. Rashad Bateman, again, he last year was a little fluky or whatnot. He got hurt, and Lamar got hurt, and it was just out of whack. But who has been this guy's outside threats? And Mark Andrews, they can line him up outside, so there goes one. But who has been this guy's outside threats at receiver? He has not had that. But you continue to see so many other teams put their quarterbacks in positions to where they like, hey, we don't want there to be no excuses. But this is why I say I do not believe the Ravens fully believe in Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. It's scary to think about, but when you really think about it and look at how they surrounded him, it's like, whoa. Then another thing too. I'm sorry, I could go on about this forever because I'm very passionate about this subject.
We definitely did.
Yes, sir.
Preach, brother, preach.
But another thing too, and I ain't here to say, oh, he needs to be fired. But Greg Roman.
He needs to be fired. I'll say it for you, Ingraven. I'll say it for you.
But the thing is, with Greg Roman, you knew who he was, and a great introductory coach to Lamar Jackson as an NFL quarterback. Awesome job. But what's next? That's the question we've been asking since the end of 2019. What's next? How is this offense going to take that next step? Now, we know, they know. Greg Roman, everywhere, it's been the same thing. Strong running game. And usually a lot of that running game comes from the quarterbacks, but the running backs get theirs too. But Greg Roman, everywhere, strong running game. But then the passing game, it's like, ooh. So what were the what expectations do you have for somebody who a lot of us would think is a franchise quarterback? What expectations do you really have if Greg Roman is still your offensive coordinator? And he has been for the entirety of Lamar Jackson's being a starter, especially week one. Now, there's one thing you could be like, all right, well, Greg Roman, he's had kind of a weird kind of career with the Ravens. Because remember, his first year as offensive coordinator, 2019, Lamar Jackson MVP. All right, cool. His second year was a COVID year. A lot of people like, hey, COVID hit, so that messed up the offense. We couldn't do anything. Meanwhile, I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, hold up. We have the same offensive coordinator that we had the previous year. Shouldn't we be ahead of a lot of these other teams? Shouldn't we have an advantage over a lot of these other teams since we got that consistency? I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But they like COVID year, then 2021 injuries. So it's like every year, a lot of people have thrown in a little excuse for the Ravens offense and the lack of success that it's had. It's still been ranked high. But from the 20 to the 20, it's ranked high. They get the yards and all that, but the points, the scoring, the situational football, it's got to be better, man. And that's not just Greg Roman. That's on John Harbaugh as well as the leader of the team. It's just on everybody. And it's on players too, because they obviously got to execute. So I ain't just saying, oh, it's all coaches and that's it, because it's not. It's the players as well. But last year, I know a lot of people like, oh, injuries. He had injuries, and he did have injuries, obviously. But for the injuries, there was like this stubbornness to where with good coaches, even if they have injuries, they will do what they can to put the players that they have left in the best position to have success. You didn't see that with the Ravens. You did not see that. They had a bad offensive line. Hey, you know what? We got a bad offensive line that can't block. Let's call these slow, long, deep passing plays over and over and over and over and over. Oh, man, Lamar's running for his life. What seems to be the problem? I don't get it. And it's like, what are we doing, man? Where's the short passing game at? Why is that not an option or something? It would be so frustrating to watch it on a consistent basis when Lamar was playing, and then a lot of times when Lamar wasn't playing too, you still saw a lot of frustrations. But Ravens just that's why I don't believe that they fully believe in Lamar Jackson. To make a long story long.
It's so crazy that you jumped into it, because I felt like you were going that direction, and you I don't even think you put your blinker on for this one. You just turned, and I was going to throw some words. I was going to throw a couple words at you got the panel and you Ingraven, and I was going to see where will we go. And my words were lack of imagination, no innovation, maybe a little too much running, and then obviously the next word was, or the next name would have been, sounds like Greg Roman. I think there is a point where, all right, obviously we have a young franchise quarterback that the Baltimore Ravens have in Lamar Jackson. Things around him need to grow as well. Like you were saying, Greg Roman has been very consistent with who he is.
Yep.
And you know, like you said earlier, that's a great introduction.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
We got to turn this chapter, right? So the Ravens, I think this is another way, and you alluded to it, that the Ravens are letting Lamar Jackson down, because in a weird way, they're stunting his growth.
Yeah.
But yeah, your response.
Now, another thing too. That's why I say with Greg Roman, like you mentioned too, we all know, they all know who he is, what he's done, what he's accomplished. Been in a Super Bowl before, so shout out to him. But say for instance, Greg Roman gets fired. Who's it gonna be next? Because say for instance, Marty Mornhinweg got fired. A lot of fans called for Marty Mornhinweg. Who's next? Say for instance, Mark Trestman, he got fired. A lot of fans called for Mark Trestman's head. Who was next? Say for instance, Jim Caldwell got fired. I don't think he got fired. I think he actually went to the Lions, but a lot of fans called for his head. He left. Say for instance, Cam Cameron got fired. A lot of fans called for his head. Who's next? So my point is that the Ravens, they've gone through this cycle before at offensive coordinator. This is not the first time fans have been calling for the offensive coordinator's head. It's not. And if the Ravens continue the same philosophy that they have, it's not going to be the last. So this is where it's actually much deeper than just a Greg Roman, because Greg Roman could get fired tomorrow and the Ravens are still the Baltimore Ravens. They still have the same philosophy. They still have that same MO, run the ball, play defense. So depending on who they hired and who they didn't hire, it could be a lot of the same thing. So that's why this goes beyond just a Greg Roman. This is a Ravens thing. It's a John Harbaugh thing. It's really a Steve Bisciotti thing too. Steve Bisciotti is the one that's calling the shots. This is his team. And he did say like, hey, I got a lot of guys in place who are a lot smarter than me when it comes to football. I let them do their thing. But it's important that the Ravens recognize, like, and it all depends on what they really want. because that's another thing too. The Ravens are making a lot of money right now. They making a lot of money. Steve Bisciotti eating because
he has a boat in the harbor.
Oh yeah, he probably got several of them.
Yeah,
but they're making a lot of money. So and this is something that we will never really know the truth. And I'm not saying that he is like this, and I'm not saying that he's not like this, because we will never know. There are some owners who, hey, I want Super Bowls. I'm trying to go all in. I'm trying to make this thing happen. I want my team to win a Super Bowl. I want that trophy. They go for it every single year, and they're like, hey, we trying to get it. Then there are other owners, hey, my team making the playoffs, ticket sales going through the roof, memorabilia, paraphernalia, merch, clothes, jerseys, everything. Hey, we just got these new LED screens at the stadium. Things are good. We making money. And these fans gonna keep showing up.
Yep.
We could do enough. We ain't gotta try to go too crazy now, but we gonna do enough. We gonna keep these fans in the seats because hey, as long as we making money and we having some success, right? So let's keep doing it. We will never know if the Ravens really want that Super Bowl, or they like, hey, we cooling it, man. It's just one of those things that it's just something to just really think about. Because us as fans, we obviously, we want our team to win a Super Bowl every single year. That's what we want. But then you got to think about the business side. And in the business, what do you do in business? What is the goal if you get in business? Your goal is not to win Super Bowls. Exactly. It's to make money.
Make money.
Make money. That's what business is about, to make bread. So it's one of those things that it's not fun to think about it when you really think about it, but it's something to think about. I just hope they do more.
I would hope they do more too, man.
Let me ask you this then.
Oh yeah.
Would bringing back his old college coach, you think, help with the offense? Just to kind of
Petrino?
Yeah.
It could because Lamar Jackson wasn't doing this stuff in college. He wasn't running this Greg Roman type of offense, this gimmicky offense in college. He was running more pro style in college. So you know what? It couldn't hurt at all. It couldn't hurt at all. So yeah, that may be something that the Ravens would need to do. But see, I just wonder. I wonder if this is again something else to think about. We know Harbaugh's a head coach. Harbaugh is in control. He makes a lot of decisions for the Ravens. And of course, anybody in control, they wouldn't want to surrender that control, but they also wouldn't want to risk losing control. And I think that's where a lot of the people that they hire and don't hire come into play. I don't see them hiring like an offensive coordinator, for example. I don't see them hiring an offensive coordinator who they think could end up taking control, maybe even of the locker room, who a lot of guys might end up sort of flocking around or whatnot. Because, oh man, this is a young guy, innovative guy relating to us. Oh man, they start thinking, wonder how he would be as a head coach. So I think more so offensively. Defensively, I think Ravens are like whatever, because you've seen it over the years. A lot of Ravens defensive coordinators, they come and they end up being a head coach somewhere else. They go get other opportunities. But as far as offensive coordinators, how many Ravens offensive coordinators go get promoted to go be a head coach somewhere? There's been Jim Caldwell. That was it, and Jim Caldwell went to the Lions. So it's like. So
is that a promotion?
I mean, he did make him a playoff team, so it was.
He did.
He did the absolute best he could with that team, and still got let go.
So it's like these offensive coordinators are they guys without any promise? Are they guys without a future? Is that the reason that they're being hired? Like what's happening with these guys from the Ravens? Why on defense again? Philosophy. Ravens run the ball, play good defense. And you see that run the ball, playing good defense, it gets those defensive coaches hired and gets them promoted. Then they go off elsewhere and go do their thing. But offensive coaches, mostly offensive coordinators, the leaders of the Ravens offense, ain't nothing been shaken for. So it's just something to think about. when it comes to the guys who the Ravens hire and don't hire as offensive coaches.
Oh yeah, Gary
Byron,
Kubiak.
can
Gary
you go
Kubiak was
back
number
a
one
few
as
comments?
head coach.
Kubiak, that is another one. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kubiak and what's the name in Caldwell.
Byron, can you go back to that comment about Lamar to the Dolphins?
Oh,
Since that's a rumor that's been
that's my cousin, man. He's trolling. He's trolling.
They don't even want that. The Miami Dolphins don't even want that.
No. I mean, we gotta ask Ingraven about this because that's a rumor that's been circulating, especially in a contract year.
Disregard that, please.
It ain't even necessarily a rumor, but you got to realize. I was just talking to my uncle about this 2 days ago, and he's down here. He's a Dolphins fan. I was like, like Ravens, they love draft picks, love them with a passion. They love them draft picks. Dolphins love making a crazy move. Dolphins willing to risk it all whenever. You see what they just gave up for Tyreek Hill. You see they gave all that money to Teron Armstead and he been hurt. You see that they are willing. They wanted to get Deshaun Watson before anybody wanted to get Deshaun Watson. Dolphins are willing to do whatever. Like everybody knows. You could deny it and be like, oh, it'll never happen. It's not real. It's not going to go down. That's fine if you feel that way. But the Dolphins will throw whatever at the Ravens for Lamar Jackson. Whatever. This is Lamar Jackson. And they don't even believe in Tua like that. Because they was trying to get another quarterback from last year. Not even this offseason. They've been trying to get another quarterback. So they would throw whatever at the Ravens for Lamar Jackson. And I think that's why this season, man, is crazy, man. It's crazy. Ravens, I don't even know what to think about it because on one hand, you want to say, oh, man, Ravens will never let that happen. But it's July 18th. Lamar don't have a deal. He's in a fifth-year option. The Ravens have not consistently surrounded him with weapons. They still have a lot of the same coaching blunders that they've had for the longest, and you have seen there's been a lack of growth. And like you mentioned earlier, it seems like they have almost stunted Lamar Jackson's growth a bit. So it makes you wonder. And another thing, too, we see all this stuff from the outside looking in. Lamar Jackson and his camp, even though you may hear from Mike Florio, from Skip Bayless, from a Shannon Sharp, you may hear from different.
Or your buddy Jason Lockenfor.
Shout out to JLC, but you may hear from a lot of different experts and analysts and whatnot that Lamar Jackson and his camp, that they need an agent, that they're not doing this thing the smart way, but they are not stupid. They are not stupid at all. And we don't even know half of what's going on, but they obviously see everything and they get to deal with everything straightforward because there's no agent. So there's no middleman in the whole thing. Ravens got to talk straight to Lamar. Lamar got to talk straight to the Ravens. But as far as Lamar to the Dolphins, I don't think it's impossible. It's not impossible. And anything's possible till it ain't possible no more. Lamar Jackson don't have a contract. He don't have his second contract yet. And Dolphins, Tua ain't on his second contract. Tua, I can't say he's not going to get a second contract from the Dolphins, but if I had to put money on it, I wouldn't put money on him getting a second contract from the Dolphins. But we'll see. Obviously, things got to play out. But, the Dolphins will be willing to risk it all, man. And they've been on that for the longest. So I don't think anything would change if Lamar, not even if he became available. I think the Dolphins would try their best to make him available. If the Ravens, say for instance, Ravens put a franchise tag on Lamar. Say for instance, they put that little weak franchise tag where you put it on the player, and if a team signs that player, then they got to give you 2 first-round picks. Dolphins would be like, what? Oh, let's go. They would take that so fast.
The transitional.
Yeah, the transition tag. That's the one. Like, so Ravens, boy, they can't play with this thing. But then on the flip side, too, it's like Ravens, all right, you don't want to mess this thing up. they've been saying like, all right, yeah, we want to pay Lamar. We want to pay Lamar. All right, cool. They want to pay Lamar. Cool. And we don't know what they've offered him. Get this dude if you really want to pay him, give him a deal that he can't refuse. Give him a deal he can't refuse. Give him a deal to where if he turns it down, you are shocked. Like, what? He turned that down?
Mhm.
And I mean, owners is not happy with the Browns and the whole Deshaun Watson thing. I know I've seen some people say, "Oh, well, Deshaun Watson and the Browns, that's not the new precedent for quarterback contracts. That's not going to be the bar for quarterback contract." All right, you tell a quarterback getting ready to pay that. You tell a quarterback who's getting ready to get paid that Deshaun Watson is not the bar and he's not the floor for a new QB contract.
Yeah,
well, they're gonna look at you like you stupid, man. So that's part of the business, man. That's part of the business. So we're gonna see how it plays out. I obviously don't want him to go to Miami. I would be very heartbroken. I think most Ravens fans would be, even though there's some Ravens fans who are like, get that guy Lamar Jackson out of my Ravens uniform. I don't want that guy to ever play another time for the Ravens again. Yeah, all right. But besides those fans, like, yeah, man, that would be painful right there, man. I know I would cry. I would cry. I know I would. I'll put it
I
out
probably
there.
would too, man.
I would. But if he went anywhere besides the Ravens, that would be one place where I would want him to go. I just pull up on the games.
I think that I don't think he's turning down that like Juan Soto type of deal though from the Nationals.
Mm.
So,
oh, you talking baseball? That's Spanish to me, man.
But is it that? But do you feel like? I mean, do you feel like it's like that 280 mark, 300 million mark? What do you think?
I don't. I don't think they offer him that much. Because again, I don't think that they believe in him like that. I just don't. So I don't think a team that, in my opinion, has shown that they don't fully believe in him, I don't think that they would offer him all of that money.
And that's crazy. And that's, you know what, man, when you say that, that's just crazy to me, man. I mean, for everything that he's done with the limited amount of offensive weapons, that Steve Bisciotti doesn't think that he's worth the money that he's going to pay him. That's amazing to me. That's amazing. Like, bro, he can literally give you 1,000 yards on the ground, 3,000 in the air, probably more if you would give him some more weapons, and you just decide not to even, oh, well, I'm just going to give him what I want to give him. Like, no, you got to take care of your quarterback, bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand that you don't want to get, well, did he really get burned with Joe? I don't really think he did. But because
Joe served him up, though.
But he didn't give Joe the proper weapons either, though, after Anquan. He let Anquan go after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. So and had to end up paying Joe more money.
It's like you can't have it both ways, man. If you want to win, go out there and show the fan base that you want to win. Give the proper wide receivers to Lamar Jackson. Like Ingraven said, we didn't see everybody all over the league get these top wide receivers, and we just have one that's a number one overall pick, and everybody else is just a question mark. So it's like it's either you're going to be either you're in or you're out. I'm not sure what Raven team we're going to see this year. Honestly, I don't know.
Now they have overall they've built a nice roster. Like they even built a nice roster last year. But this year they've done a good job of building the roster overall. And because they have depth at a lot of positions across the board, especially offensive line, obviously running back, tight ends. They got about 30 of them on the squad. But and then on defense, on the interior defensive line, secondary, they got 1 million corners right now.
1,000 cornerbacks.
So only where it's a little thin, maybe you could say inside linebacker because it's Patrick Queen and Josh Bynes, but then Malik Harrison, he could switch back and forth. I say outside linebacker, kind of because Bowser and Ajabo, even though Bowser looking like he's gonna be ready, but with Ajabo not yet. But and they did just bring back Justin Houston. But yeah, my point is they got a lot of depth at a lot of places on the roster. So the roster is not bad. But again, just the biggest question mark right now, in my opinion, is at the wide receiver position. It's the biggest one.
Is there any wide receiver you think left that the Ravens could get?
Hey, you hear what you said? Is there any wide receiver left? Scraps, bottom of the barrel. We're picking from leftovers. Now, free agency, Julio would be scary. Because if we get Julio, then Ravens gotta they would have to sign up for a sponsorship with Dole. Because we would have to have bananas ready for them hamstrings that Julio got, man. There's I was about to say Orlando Brown Jr. There's Odell Beckham Jr. But again, I mean, you could put injury prone on him now. When he's on the field, he's nice, but he be getting hurt a lot, and then you wouldn't have him till later on anyway.
I would say you wouldn't have until Halloween.
Because the injury, yep.
Yeah, then Will Fuller. Will Fuller's been out there. He's been a name that a lot of people have been talking about. They kind of died down on him recently, but Will Fuller's another name that's out there. He had some kind of infamous thumb or finger injury last year. Dolphins wasn't feeling that, but anyway, he's out there, could be a deep threat, and he's a big playmaker. But he's always hurt. It's like that's the thing with the receivers that are out there. They always hurt.
Do you got T.Y. Hilton?
I'm sorry. I just no, man. We already got enough little guys at wide receiver, man.
Plus, did he turn down a contract with us anyway?
He did.
He did last year, but so did Dez Bryant. Like back in whenever we signed Michael Crabtree, they tried to sign Dez Bryant first.
2018.
He turned him down. So yeah, then that was 2018.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. You're right. And then they circled back around and then picked up Dez Bryant after he had. Oh, I love this team, man. I love these Ravens, boy. They keep it fun. They keep it fun for us all the time. They are never boring, man. Ever. Man, I forgot who you. I forgot. I really forgot who you're talking about.
We were talking about the terrible wide receiver choices that are still left.
Oh yeah. So as far as free agents, but then there's a trade. In my opinion, if they could, I don't think they would, but I would love for them too. If they could land a DK Metcalf, I would be so happy. Then I would say, all right, Ravens Super Bowl. I believe.
Bring Donkey Kong here, please. Bring him here.
You want to talk about the bananas? You want to talk about the bananas? I'll tell you. All right. Let's see where you're going.
DK gonna get it done for you, man. DK gonna get it done.
That's a rumor that has been out there, especially because they got rid of Wilson, and he's gonna want to be underneath a quarterback. So I'm hoping that the Seattle would do that.
I would hope so, but I just don't see it. What you about to say?
Or Big Debo Samuel.
Debo would be nice. He been hurt a lot. Debo would be nice. That's obviously a playmaker. He would give the Ravens another playmaker on the squad. And I just wonder, because 49ers, they like to use him as a running back. But he caught a lot of passes too. And he's a big yak guy. I just wonder how the Ravens would use him or misuse him. That's the only thing that would scare me about Debo. That's the only thing that would scare me if they got him. He could play, he's a baller. But I just wonder how they would use him. And if they were doing something special with him, if they were doing one of those good Evan Duvernay jet sweeps, would they overdo it to where they have Duvernay come in motion, then they have Debo come too, and they just get too pretty with it and they get too fancy with it and whatnot. I would just be worried about that. But Debo, he could play, he could ball, man. And he would fit in with the way that the Ravens do things. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind him either. But I would my number one choice, and it has been for a while, it would be DK Metcalf. So when we ain't got no notification that he got paid. I don't see him wanting to even do a contract right now with Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Geno Smith and maybe what's the name from the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, if he get cut or whatever. But I don't see him re-signing with the Seahawks. For what? What's that? You could obviously get paid, get a lot of money, but I don't see DK Metcalf re-signing with the Seahawks right now. Because you can go get paid, get a lot of money, and be in a better situation too.
Absolutely.
True. So much great content. We got to give it up for Ingraven one more time, everybody. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ingraven. Let the people know how to keep up with you, where they can find your videos, what you got working on in the works, little teasers, some things you got coming out this week. And, hey, how to keep up with you.
Oh man. Well, the YouTube channel, everything is IngravenVids. The YouTube channel, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I got a TikTok too, but I stopped using TikTok. I can't keep up with these young kids, man. They too much for me. I can't, man. I know y'all talking about it earlier. Y'all on TikTok now, and it's tough. It's tough, man. But
Too much, man.
it's always something. But what we working on? I mean, we got daily videos. Tomorrow, we got a video coming out on. Of course, Lamar Jackson had this whole back and forth with Bernard Pollard last week or over the weekend, whenever it was, a couple of days ago. And of course, there was a lot of scrutiny when it came to that. But there was something amidst all that, there was something that we missed, and a lot of people missed. They did not catch it. That Lamar Jackson said to Bernard Pollard. So we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow. And yeah, man, just looking forward to training camp in a week and 2 days. Looking forward to the open practice. That should be fun. Hopefully Lamar Jackson will be there this year because he wasn't there last year, but we'll see. Yeah, just looking forward to everything. Maybe Rashad Bateman will end up cooking Marlon Humphrey again like he did last year. We'll see. And I know there were a lot of people that were like, "Oh man, it's just practice. It's just practice." And I was one of them people too.
I wasn't one of those people.
Oh,
I
sure was.
That's serious. No, that's absolutely serious.
Because I was like, no, ain't no point in getting too hyped over because it's just practice. Then Marlon Humphrey ended up getting cooked throughout the year. But anyway, hopefully this will be a bounce back year for Hump and Marcus Peters and Ravens secondary and just everybody, man. But that was a preview of Marlon Humphrey's year last year. Rashad Bateman tried to tell us, man. But me, I didn't listen. But it's all good, man.
Hey, Ingraven, we appreciate you. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, hold up before you get him out of here. I got a question for you, Ingraven.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Have you talked to Joe Nubo lately?
Oh, shout out to Nubo, man.
Or Jose
Verduzco. Yeah, man, that's my guy, man. He I know he wanted to focus more on he really wanted to take his podcasting and him being a sportscaster to the next level. So I know he been working on that a lot. 'Cause I know that's something that he was going to school for, and he was really trying to like hone in on his craft that much more so he can get that much better at it. So I know he really just been focusing on it. I know he changed his channel to 1 Minute Sports. So I think he should be back out by the time football season rolls around, hopefully. I gotta hit him up. I'm gonna send him a text or something, and I tell him y'all asking about him.
Most definitely, man. Hopefully I get to see you at the open practice, man.
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
So,
hey, Ingraven, we got to get you back on before the season. Hopefully, if your schedule allows. Your family now, brother. Appreciate it. One more time, give it up for Ingraven, everybody. Thank you, Ingraven. Appreciate you, my brother, and always, team, keep it clean, right?
Appreciate it, man. Shout out to team, keep it clean. Thank you for everybody that came through too. I see everybody in the live stream. I mean, in the comment section.
Yes, shout out to everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you follow IngravenVids. We'll have him back before the season to get his outlook on the team. Hopefully a healthy Ravens roster that should be very competitive. Ingraven, continued success, my brother, and thank you for giving us some time today.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. One more time for Ingraven, everybody. Thank you in the comments. Appreciate y'all that saying what's up to you, Ingraven, and showing your love. So they're happy to see you. Got the whole team. Keep it clean in here.
Please get that Antonio Brown.
Hey man, the people are speaking. The people are speaking. Ingraven, thank you. Send love to the family, and we'll cut you down the line.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Thank you again. Appreciate it. All right, one more time for Ingraven. Joining us here with the Flex on podcast.
I've seen that comment like 5 times. I'm like, who keeps trolling about AB?
They want Antonio Brown, right?
I mean, the boy can play. The boy can play. He's just goofy, but that's a whole nother story.
If he had his cousin here, would have I conceded, but they never had made that happen. So no.
No way. It wasn't no way in hell they was gonna have 2 Browns on the team. Stop it.
Oh boy. Let's get into this top 10 quarterback list while we got everybody still here in the chat. We know Lamar Jackson was not on the top 10 quarterback list.
Shame.
And
a damn shame.
we know he's a top 10 quarterback. We're not going to argue that. We don't even need to waste time on that. But we here at the Flex Zone, we've been doing lists. Last couple of weeks, we did the top NBA players of all time, and we did the top 10 NBA players going into this coming season as well. You know we love lists here.
Hey, Byron, real
Yo,
quick.
yo.
This I'm kind of alluding to my Goofy of the week, but Juan Soto just won the home run derby.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that should be a Goofy of the
Whoa.
week. That should definitely be a Goofy of the week for obvious reasons. But
DC, man.
oh, man. Let's get into these top 10 quarterback rankings, and you guys let us know in the comments with the list. Brian Waters in the building. Shout out to Waters.
Hey,
My man,
Waters.
Brown
Green
Waters,
Waters.
brother.
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
Yes. Watch out, bro. Yes. Dre, you want to kick it off, brother? You want to go 10 to 1 and let the people know who your top 10 quarterback is? Top 10 quarterbacks are who's your number one?
Let me start, like you said, from the bottom, and we'll work our way up. At number 10, I think Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback, and I've been saying that for years. So Derek Carr automatically would make my list. Dak Prescott.
Wait, yo, Jerry, are we going in order, or are we just doing 10?
I was going from 10 up to 1.
Okay, got you, brother.
I got Joe Burrow on there. I think that
He's number 8.
Yeah, I think that he's coming into his own. I knew that he was going to be a good quarterback, but anybody that could take the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl, you top 10, brother, no matter what. Matthew Stafford at 7 for finally getting over the hump and just showing you what happens when you can go to a good team, what can really happen. So he makes the top 10. Josh Allen. I think that Josh Allen, he definitely proved himself in that playoff game against Patrick Mahomes. They were going blow for blow, and whoever just had the ball last definitely would have won that football game. Our MVP, Lamar Jackson, is a top 5 quarterback. I still view him as top 5 right now. I think Lamar Jackson is going to come even stronger. Somebody who's made the playoffs consistently until the injuries happen, who's won an MVP, who's already won a playoff game. I think that Lamar Jackson should get the proper respect on his name, and is in a contract season, I can see Lamar even being pushed up even further on this list. Number 4, I got to give it off to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson already was a top quarterback, so the sky's the limit now that he's in a new team in a new environment, especially since we've seen what's happened with Denver in the past when they get a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes at number 3. Enough said about Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers at number 2. And, of course, the GOAT still number 1. I mean, Tom Brady, whenever he does his thing, he wins. And I think that last year, even despite what was happening with Tampa Bay until Antonio Brown, I think that team just kind of got deflated right there. But I think that Tom Brady is still number 1, just similar to like how LeBron is in the NBA. You hats off to these guys, because when they're healthy and when they're on the right situation, the right team, the sky's the limit for them.
Read your list one more time, Dre. And yes, Mark, my connection did go out. Go ahead, Dre. Go 10 to 1 real quick. Doing our top 10 quarterbacks.
All right. I had Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady.
Okay, Raj, before you go, little housekeeping. We got a lot of people in the building. Make sure you tell them what to do, what they need to do, how to keep up with us, and just about the channel, what we do on the Flex Zone podcast.
Hey, man, if y'all enjoying today's content, if y'all new to the channel, please hit the subscribe. Please hit the like button. It helps with the video. We do a lot of these videos almost every day. Byron's been going crazy. We do wrestling as well, if you see on the channel. But we talk football. We talk Ravens football. We talk Orioles. We talk a lot of things, man. So please, support the channel. Tell us what you like for us to talk about. Who else would you like as a guest? Ingraven, of course. A friend to the channel came on and blessed us with his presence and his knowledge of Ravens football, and did a great thing. So let us know what you think. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and tell us what you think about the channel.
And let us know your top 10 quarterbacks, or if you agree or disagree with our list. Raj, go ahead, brother.
Wait, hold on. Also, hit that bell to get your
Oh.
lavish notifications as well.
Exactly. I'm my bad about that. Hit the bell as well. You're right, Crevonte. You're right.
Hit that bell like Juan Soto was hitting those baseballs tonight. But go ahead, Raj.
Shut up! I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
Number 10. I gotta, even though I'm not really a huge Dak Prescott fan, I think he had a good comeback year. So I still think he's a top 10 quarterback. I see Crevonte's not feeling that, but it's okay. Dak is at number 10 for me. I agree with Dre. I think Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback. He's number 9. He played a hell of a season with even with everything being goofy with his wide receivers and the head coach and all this other nonsense that was going on with the Raiders. I think he played a hell of a season.
Still made the playoffs.
So he's number 9 for me. Number 8 would be Matt Stafford, because he finally got to showcase what he can do with an actual team that has a great defense. He's actually a top 10 quarterback, and he's fantastic. And I think he's going to probably make another Super Bowl with this team because they got all the parts, man, to go back. So number 7 would be Lamar Jackson. I think if he would have played out the rest of the season last year, he definitely would have been a top 10 quarterback. He was already trending towards that, even with a down year. And I think that he's going to have a hell of a comeback year this year, even with some of the talent that he is somewhat still missing, even in the lack of wide receivers. I think he's going to be able to carry this team back to the postseason like he's always done when he's healthy. Number 6 is Justin Herbert. I thought he had a great year last year. They came close to making the playoffs, just losing I think they lost to the Raiders the last game of the season. But either with that, man, I think he's a hell of a quarterback, man. Hell of a quarterback, a fantastic arm, wide receivers galore. He's going to have another great year coming up with that team, and they will make the playoffs this coming season. Joe Burrow, what can you say about Joe Burrow? I mean, comeback player of the year, could have been an MVP candidate. He played his ass off with this team, with the Bengals team. I know Jamar Chase had a lot to do with it. I mean, but hey, man, he did the part, bro. He actually showcased that he is the number 1 overall pick in that draft that he came out of, and he played his butt off, got to the Super Bowl, but came up just a bit short to the Rams. But he's a top 5 quarterback. Number 4 is Josh Allen. Josh Allen took another leap. Stephon Diggs, of course, helped him as well. But Josh Allen has another rifle of an arm, and he can move in the pocket, and he can move on the field as well. So he's going to do nothing but elevate his talent, because he belongs in the top 4. But I'm with Dre on these last 3, man. I think Patrick Mahomes is still a top 3 quarterback. He didn't have that great of a year last year. He kind of was a little iffy, but he's still a bad boy, and he still can do what he can do on the field. So he deserves to be number 3 on this list. Aaron Rodgers, what can you say, man? One of the best quarterbacks in all of football, man. My man Duck Dodgers, coming in at number 2. He played well as always. Besides when he's in the postseason, he comes up short a little bit, but he did his thing in the regular season. He was a candidate for MVP, so he's going to be number 2. And of course, number 1, my man Thomas Brady, brother. I mean, the best quarterback to ever put on the boots, man. He is fantastic. Even at the age of 44, he is phenomenal, man. He still can get it done. To me, he should have been the MVP of the league, and I don't think he got gypped, but I think he should have been the MVP. But he is still the GOAT. He is still the best quarterback in all of football, and he is still the guy that everybody is still trying to chase to be, the greatest. So until somebody can reach that top of the mountain, and as long as he's still playing at the level he's playing at, he's number 1 on my list.
Rewind the list one more time for the people so they can keep up with it.
Number 10 is Dak Prescott. Number 8 is Derek Carr. Number 9 is Derek Carr. Number 8 is Matthew Stafford. Number 7 is Lamar Jackson. Number 6 is Justin Herbert. Number 5 is Joe Burrow. Number 4 is Josh Allen. Number 3 is Patrick Mahomes. Number 2 is Aaron Rodgers. And number 1 is Tom Brady.
All right, Crevonte. Let's see where you at, brother.
Hey man, so I mean, for the most part, all of our lists are very similar, just the numbers that we put these particular players at. But mine's is slightly different once we get to the top. Of course, like I said earlier, I ain't got nobody's Dak Prescott nowhere on this list. You want to talk about somebody who's overrated? He's nowhere on this top 10 list. But I'm gonna come in number 10. I agree with Derek Carr. Just for what he went through last year and still was able to wield that team to the playoffs, between losing his top wide receiver, his head coach, and all the other goofiness that was going on at the Las Vegas Raiders facility, town, whatever you want to call it. It was a lot going on. And he willed that team to victory and got them to the playoffs. I thought that was astronomical. Number 9. Hey, man, I saw somebody say he was overrated in here. I don't think so. Justin Herbert, man. I feel like as soon as Justin Herbert came to the league, he was it. And I felt like as soon as the Dolphins made that pick for Tua, Brian Flores was like, I'm out of here. Because that was the guy I wanted, and they picked this guy. I think it's his head coach that's actually going to hold him back. But that's a topic for another day. Number 8, I have Lamar Jackson. I thought it was absurd that he wasn't in the top 10. Very, very disrespectful, but he's young, black, and unconventional. So, that's enough said there, but you can't sneeze at his accomplishment. Despite however you want to criticize him, he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, number 8. 7 and 6 are the Super Bowl participants, this past Super Bowl participant. I had Matthew Stafford finally getting over the hump and actually going with a decent team with a above average exceptional head coach and getting to the Super Bowl and winning and beating Tom Brady in the process. That's also a couple extra points. And then I have Joe Burrow. Like Dre said, man, I just knew it was it. we knew this guy had it, and it was unfortunate that his first year he was not able to make it through. Chase Young had a lot to do with that, but he came back healthy, came back from that gruesome knee injury, and took the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl, and was an Aaron Donald arm away from potentially winning because Jamar Chase beat Jalen Ramsey. Because Jamar Chase beat Jalen Ramsey, but Aaron Donald had more to say about it. So that's 6. 5. All right, my top 5. I got let Russ cook. I think Russ is really excited to get a change of scenery. I think he's going to do really great things in Denver, and he instantly makes them a contender, not in just the AFC West, which is stacked beyond belief, but a chance for the Super Bowl. Number 4, Josh Allen. I know y'all seen the odds. The Buffalo Bills are favored to win the Super Bowl.
That's what scares me, Crevonte. That's what scares me. We'll talk about that later. But
right. This upcoming year, they are favored to win a Super Bowl. I think this team is going to be top 5 in offense and defense. Like I think the Buffalo Bills are going to be really, really good and really, really scary. So yeah, number 4, Josh Allen, and of course, all of our top 3s are the same. Different order for me. I have Tom Brady. I have Tom Brady at number 3. And I have Aaron Rodgers at 2. Obviously, I'm talking about going into this year. Obviously, if we talk about accomplishments, Tom Brady should be everybody's number 1. But if we're talking about going into the next season, I'm going Tom Brady at 3. 2, A-Rod. He always finds his way in the top 3. He's always low. He always keeps his interceptions low, consistently low, like in the single digits low. and that's tough to do with how often he passes the ball. Well, how often he puts the ball, have to put the ball in harm's way with his attempts. And of course, my guy, Patrick Mahomes, boy. I think low key, this is somebody who has a chip on his shoulder because he's getting written off because of the loss of Tyreek Hill, and I think he has a lot to prove coming into this upcoming year, and I do think he will do that. So Byron, I will run it back. 10, Derek Carr. 9, Justin Herbert. 8, Lamar Jackson. 7, Matthew Stafford. 6, Joe Burrow. 5, Russell Wilson. 4, Josh Allen. 3, Tom Brady. 2, Aaron Rodgers. And 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Well, my top 10 list. See, I'm the host. I can do things that don't make sense. But I have a couple guys, and let me know in the comments, that I have at 10 because they're all basically the same quarterback. Hear me out. I got Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, First Cousins, Kirk Cousins, and Matt Stafford. What's the difference? What's the difference between them? They're all the same quarterback, basically. Seriously. They are basically all the same quarterback. You take
No. I just don't like Dak Prescott being in there.
I know, but you would take him on the
I take him over Kirk Cousins, though.
But look at Kirk Cousins' numbers. They might be better than Dak's. I mean, somebody can let me know in the comments, but Justin Jefferson and Thielen, they work. They put work in.
Yeah, but I think that Kirk Cousins stat packs a lot. I don't think that.
So did Matt Stafford.
Oh my gosh, that's what Dak Prescott did all year. Because he came from behind. They were losing a lot of those games, and he had a lot of garbage stats.
All I'm gonna say is these 4 guys. You can say they stat chasing. You can say they empty nesters. They get empty stats. They may not have the playoff legacy until Matt Stafford won this past year. But Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, First Cousins, and Matt Stafford are pretty much the same quarterback to me.
I mean, you got a point.
If you put the right pieces around them, they can win. But if you don't, they'll be average. Just my opinion.
You know what? I think that's what separates Matthew Stafford because Kirk Cousins upgraded, still average, and Dak Prescott had the best offensive line and the best running back at one point, and very average.
Well, I think Aaron Donald, though, was the difference between all of that. He's the best player in probably football. So that kind of helps too, Crevonte, having him on your defense. The Vikings don't have a defense, really. The Raiders didn't really have a defense. The Cowboys, they didn't have a defense. Even though they played better, got a lot of turnovers, they didn't really have a defense. We saw that in the playoffs. And the Rams have Aaron Donald. But in my opinion, those are all clustered. It's a cluster Franklin at 10. I got Dak, Derek Carr, First Cousins, and Matt Stafford all in there. But number 9, y'all been disrespecting my boy. Yeah, he's a little goofy. Yeah, he runs like a 3-year-old. Kyler Murray is a top 10 quarterback, okay? Kyler Murray. Yeah. Okay, he's a top 10 quarterback. Let's not forget, he was the MVP last year, the first couple weeks of the season, until some things started happening, injuries, he got hurt. Let me get Kyler Murray in my top 10. I'm taking him over those other guys, okay? All right. I'm just give me Kyler Murray. Number 8, I got Justin Herbert. He could be high as like 5, but he hasn't been in the playoffs yet. Got to make the playoffs. Just got to make the playoffs if you're that guy, in my opinion. Real quick, I have Joe Burrow over him. Joe Burrow is my guy, but he's only done it 1 year. Can't crown him yet. You know what they say, don't crown him quite yet. I have Josh Allen at number, 7. Josh Allen. No, excuse me. Joe Burrow at 7. Josh Allen at 6.
So we agree.
So, yeah, I know we want to give him the crown. He has Stephon Diggs. He has a lot of weapons, a lot of offensive weapons, a lot of defensive weapons. But it's something about him. I think when you need him most, and you saw it against Patrick Mahomes, I ain't going to say it's his fault, but he got outplayed. And I think he's got everything in front of him to make the Super Bowl this year. But I just don't like when teams have everything. It's just always takes one game in the NFL. So we shall see. So again, like I said, I got Josh Allen at 6. I have Lamar. Nope. You know what? I got a late change. Russell Wilson at 5. He still let Russ cook, but he did have a little bit of a down year. Got hurt. We know how he left. 4, I got Lamar Jackson. You can give me Lamar Jackson. He can make something out of nothing. He can make chicken salad out of chicken poop. And he does it here in Baltimore. You heard Ingraven.
Put that Old Bay season on it.
There you go. Pat Mahomes at 3, but he could be number 1 only because of There's no way you should lose that game last year. You up 21 at halftime. You should have blew them boys out.
That play before halftime. That was the shift.
He is the tribal chief. We do acknowledge him, but same thing that he does great is what hinders him sometimes. Number 2, I have Aaron Rodgers. He won the MVP. Debate it all you want. He's still getting it done. He don't have any weapons this year, so I don't know what the hell he's going to do, but he's still going to get it done. And number 1, it's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Until he retires, he'll probably be my number 1. Just because 40,000 years old, still throwing 50 touchdowns, 4,000, 5,000 yards. They have a lot of weapons in Tampa, don't get me wrong. But Jameis had those same weapons, and he turned the ball over like crazy. We see Tom Brady does. And for Tom Brady to win, a Super Bowl with the COVID year and coming to a new team after being in New England, still, they could have won last year and beat the Rams. And I think they'll be in the mix this year. But again, I have Derek Carr, first cousins, Matt Stafford tied at 10. My boy Kyler Murray at 9. Justin Herbert at 8. Joe Burrow at 7. Josh Allen at 6. Russell Wilson at 5. Lamar Jackson at 4. Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady to follow. Let me know in the comments. Let us know. List which ones you like, which one you don't. I'll probably clip this somehow, put it on TikTok tomorrow. Let the people talk about it as well. Argue in the comments all you like. But Crevonte, you want to get goofy in the nation's capital?
Oh God.
Make sure you take your highlight off so we can see your cards, brother.
Oh, yep. Let me do that real quick.
Somebody make the noise for my man.
Uh-oh.
I got you. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Boy.
Hold on. I got you. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Hold on 1 second. While Crevonte gets set up here. But let the people know, Crevonte, Goofies of the Week, what the Goofies of the Week is, and what we present here on the Flex Zone podcast.
Sure. Good people. Welcome to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time. So let me tell the world, America, everybody on this on the interweb what I thought was goofy. And typically I do Goofies of the previous week, or sometimes sometimes we do re-Goofies, depending on how bad things get. I had 2 cards here. I have a low-level Goofy. We call that Jet Green. And I have a high-level Goofy. That's Falcon Red. Low-level Goofies are Goofies that's kind of funny. It makes the news because of its, let me say, goofiness. And it's funny. It's hee ha ha. It doesn't really go much further than that. But it's like, you did too much. But it's cool. But then, of course, we have the high-level Goofies that's like, nah, everybody has to come to the table. We got to think about this. He doesn't have a good advisory board, obviously. And, yeah, you're borderline goofy, dumb. You're dumb. You're stupid. That's what it is. And I think it's appropriate by the NFL teams I use to describe both these cards in Jet Green and Falcon Red.
Here you go, Crevonte. By the way, can't forget.
Gosh, something wrong here.
Yep.
There you go.
There's a lot wrong here. For the sake of time, I only have one. And it.
Oh no, he's a big goofy. Put that Nationals red up.
Nationals red. Okay, Nationals red.
At least for this week.
So, okay, I could go this route. I could go a couple different ways with this. So let's go back. I'm gonna take y'all back to February of this year. The headline: Juan Soto declines $350 million extension offer from Nationals before the lockout. And I was just thinking, damn, That's a lot of goddamn money. I want to say it was about. I want to say was it 13? About 30. Yep, 13 years, 350 million. Contract extension. I think it's crazy in baseball. Like their contracts are uber long, but 13 years, $350 million. Soto was like, nah. You know what this reminds me of, guys? It's giving Bryce Harper vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was February. And where is?
So you're saying he did this before? He's a repeat offender.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it gets better.
He's
He's
absolutely a
repeat goofy.
Repeat goofy offender.
So, boom. Next offer, and this offer was, a couple. I don't even think it's been a week. A couple of days or up to a week. The headline: Juan Soto rejects 15-year, $440 million offer. He said, nah. He said, I'm cool. And I'm like, dang it. What what can we do? Because I mean, that's what you're supposed to do when you have a superstar or somebody of superstar caliber. You want to keep them around. You try your best to pay them and give them an offer they can't refuse. Well, guess what? Juan Soto continues to refuse. And it is quite irritating. But I thought about it. Secondly, I was like, man, he's goofy. But I was like, wait a minute. Maybe it's a DC thing. God dog it. What if it's a DC thing? I've talked about this before. And before recently, obviously, I always said that there was some type of rain cloud over DC sports. And that kind of stopped after the Capitals won a Stanley Cup. Then the Mystics won the WNBA finals. And then the Nationals, right after getting rid of Bryce Harper, won the World Series.
And then the Wizards won an NBA championship.
Yeah, right.
Never worry, 32nd.
Let me turn my computer off, Raj.
That happened February 31st.
February 33rd. But it just feels like it's always something with DC. I'm glad those teams that I previously mentioned were able to get through, because I'm not even going to go back to the last time a Washington team won a championship. I'm not going to go back into it. I just know I got 3 recent ones, and I'm going to hold on to that one. But maybe Juan Soto doesn't. That maybe it's a DC thing why he doesn't want to be here. Maybe it's something. Maybe it was last year how we exploded getting rid of Trey Turner, Mad Max Scherzer, basically blowing up the team.
Rendon.
Maybe he didn't like that, because I thought he is on a contract for I think at least till 2024. So maybe he doesn't like how the team is operating in the front office, and he doesn't want a part of it. And maybe he understands his worth, and he knows whatever the Nats are offering, somebody else will offer. Because trust me, the Yankees and the Dodgers are waiting. Trust me. We all know how they operate. They are waiting. As soon as Juan Soto becomes available in 2024, they will be on the phone. I promise you. It'll be both of them, and they will pay him $500 million. $500 million to be there, and he will gladly travel up north or travel across the country to do that. And nobody here will be able to blame him for that. But I think there is a negative, negative stigma in the DC sporting realm. And for whatever reason, I don't know, because obviously, Juan hasn't spoken out about it. He just, all he pushes the decline button. That's it. And that's all he's been doing at this point. And it hurts, because it's hard enough to keep superstars on franchises that typically don't treat their players the best or make goofy decisions in the organization or the franchise. It's hard to do that. Like, thank the heavens, Terry McLaurin is still a Commander. That's still hard to say right now. But
Do we salute him too?
y'all don't have to. Y'all okay? All right. Thanks, guys.
Is he your baby Grogu?
Not only is he a commander, but he's a 91 on Madden this year.
Oh, he's top 5 receiver. Yo, when we do receivers, you know he in there. Terry McLaurin's in that thing.
That might be our list next week, Dre, for 351. Top 5 wide receivers.
Top 5, top 10, whatever.
Top 10.
Yeah, top 10. He's in that thing. It's
a possibility.
So I'm glad that we were able to do that. Raj, Bradley Beal seems to be snuggling in with the Washington Wizards, and I saw him trying to endorse Juan Soto. Well, at least trying his best to, and it don't like Juan Soto. He must have declined Bradley Beal too. But I mean, you need star power. You absolutely need star power in all sports. You need some type of star power. One, for money purposes, and two, for winning purposes. You know what I'm saying? They're superstars for a reason, which means they have a large impact on winning. So yeah, I think Juan Soto's a little goofy, but he probably knows what he can get outside of DC. It wouldn't be the first time, right? So, Byron, this is for this segment, Washington National Red, because it's a combination of the two. Somehow, some way, a DC team finds its way on the Goofies of the Week list. So anyway, y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and DC somehow finds their way on the wrong end of this. And Juan Soto, at least in the short term, is on that side of it as well.
Well, let me get my Tony Reale real quick. So you guys lost Bryce Harper and Matt Scherzer. Do you think that they're losing Juan Soto because the Yankees could possibly be losing Aaron Judge and Juan Soto go in there to replace Aaron Judge?
I honestly didn't even think of. That didn't cross my mind. They are losing Aaron Judge. Is that what's word on the street?
He gonna get paid.
Is that real?
He gonna get paid.
Because the way he's playing,
he turned down money to get more money.
They print money in New York at this point.
Aaron Judge might get $400 million. He turned down $220, so he might get about $3 something.
And rumor has it that if the Nationals can't come to an agreement with Juan Soto, that they said this will be the biggest trade since Herschel Walker.
Woo!
Oh, do we have to bring up Herschel Walker?
Only in football purposes.
Because he's goofy for other reasons, Raj. This ain't that show. We're not even gonna get into that. He's goofy for other reasons. But
we only in the trenches we acknowledge some of these guys. But Juan Soto, I mean that boy putting up numbers. He put up numbers now.
But I think also obviously after the second decline, the Nats see the writing on the wall, and now he's pretty much on the trade block. And come on, the DC, we need a haul.
Trade deadline August 2nd, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he said what 117 home runs, over 500 hits, and a nearly 300 average. Like he's balling.
And he's young. He's what, 22, 23?
20, yeah. I mean, and like Crevonte said, DC, they seen it because Bryce Harper left as a free agent, and then Matt Scherzer, he got traded to the Dodgers. So one won an MVP, one one is in the World Series contention. So
And like
Yeah.
Crevonte said, Trey Turner, Rendon, who was on the National League champion and eventual World Series champion teams as well.
But next year,
Yep.
but I mean, but maybe one of y'all can help me out with this. He's not technically an unrestricted free agent until 2025.
So they don't have to trade him. They don't have to
no,
trade him.
right,
Like
right,
Crevonte
right,
said.
right. Well, the 2024 is his last, year. So,
But the longer you wait, the less you get back because teams have less control over him for those next couple of years. So
Yeah.
you'd be best to try to trade him as soon as possible. But they're saying the only teams that have the arsenal would be, of course, your Yankees, Dodgers, teams like that.
Maybe the Orioles.
No.
He makes more money than the Orioles will make over the next 5 years just off payroll alone. But Crevonte, just to make it more goofy for you, you know who has the worst record going into the All-Star break in the major leagues?
it's got to be the Nationals.
It is the Washington Nationals.
Mhm.
They actually are. I just had it in front of me. They are 1-9 in their last 10 games. Crevonte,
Yes.
27 and a half games. 27 and a half
that
games.
doesn't make it. So that makes it like, all right, maybe this is not Juan Soto. Maybe he sees it
It's
and is
definitely
like,
not Juan Soto.
I'm gonna pop it.
1-9 in their last 10, worst record in baseball. But Crevonte, it gets goofier. You know, the Major League Baseball draft was yesterday. I was here live for it. Orioles had the number one pick because they had the worst record, right?
Yep.
So, you know, the new collective bargaining agreement, there's no more worst record gets the number one pick. It is now a lottery like the NBA. So that does not mean the Washington Nationals will get the number one pick if they finish with the worst record. So more sorrow for you, Crevonte, potentially.
And the Orioles lucked up.
Hey, listen.
I think they got a good
I'm
draft.
hoping. Listen, brother. Let me tell you a couple things. I'm holding on to the championship. I'm
How
holding
long?
on to that.
Forever.
That's it.
Yeah, hold on to it, bro.
That happened. That happened. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. But that's the difference between
his comment.
But that's the difference between the elite level organizations and the not so elite level organizations.
Wait a minute, hold up. Bring the comment back up again.
Yes,
No.
yes.
Why would you acknowledge the comment, man?
Tell them to subscribe. Make sure they sacrifice and subscribe and hit that like button.
Yeah, man. If you're gonna say that, please hit that subscribe button and tune into some more content, please.
Sometimes it's hard to re-up. Sometimes some organizations find it hard to re-up, and it's okay. We won a championship 2019. I'm holding on to it. You understand?
Oh, gosh. Something wrong here.
And Crevonte, you know they are the 30th. There are 30 teams in Major League Baseball. Guess what farm system?
And they're 32nd. I know.
Guess what farm system the Nationals have according to the baseball experts? Which means your future, basically.
What?
26.
If
So
they'd
basically, the Nationals.
If they'd have said 32nd, I'd have been like, "Yep."
So basically, the Nationals are the new Orioles.
That my how the turns have tabled.
How the turns have.
I may do a video on that. Why the Nationals are the new Orioles, baby, and the Orioles are on their way up, heading to the All-Star break with a 500 record. We might not make the playoffs this year, but if you want to bet some money, Crevonte, sprinkle some money on some futures. That Orioles is looking real good, brother.
Hey, listen, man, listen. Let me tell you this about the Orioles. The Orioles have been the most profitable team in baseball on the run line and the money line. I think if you would have put $100 on the money line for every Orioles game, you'd be up about $1,400.
You hear that? They're the maximum male models, Byron. There you go.
They're titillating the juices of our guiltiest flesh. Titillating juices. But Crevonte, Dre, and Raj, got to get your thoughts real quick on 350 episodes and a preview, Dre, for episode 351. Still got some people here in the venue with us.
Go ahead, Dre.
I mean, 350. I mean, that's a major accomplishment, especially from where we've been over the years. I ran into my god sister yesterday, Brittany. So I mean, it's just all full circle. Mikel Ramos, seen her last week as well. So I mean, we just I appreciate the brotherhood that we have here, and we're just gonna keep it pushing, man. I mean, we got some amazing ideas coming, some lists coming, so we're gonna get better and better as we continue to have 350 and beyond.
And 351, what can they expect, Dre? Another guest stepping into the building, right?
Yes, we have the Sean Brunson from the Brunson League coming on. SummerSlam is coming up as well, so there's a lot to talk about. So we're at Derek Jeter's new documentary right now on ESPN.
Definitely got to watch that. A 7-part series on the captain, El Capitan. Much
El
like
Capitan.
Dre. Yes, busy week of content. We are back. The power knocked out my power last week, so I wasn't able to give you a lot of content. But of course, tonight we had Ingraven on. Tomorrow, got a Ravens video coming. Talk about their wide receiver situation. Will they sign a wide receiver? I may do a video later this week on all the Nationals and New Orioles. We got AEW on Wednesday. Barbed wire everywhere match. It's going to be crazy Crevonte. People going to be hanging from shark cages. It's going to get goofy Crevonte. Might have to check that out for you as well. We got Ring of Honor on Saturday. I'll be here. It's going to be a busy week of content on the channel. So if you tune in, Raj, tell people how to keep up with us as well.
Hey man, if you enjoyed today's episode, we had Ingraven on, had a wonderful interview with him. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell for notifications, because we want to make sure that we get everybody in the venue, and we'll continuing to grow this thing, and we're gonna continue to keep doing what we do. As always, giving y'all some of the best content that we're trying to give y'all, coming from a Maryland perspective.
Yes, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the bell, subscribe. Crevonte, 350 episodes, brother. You've been here since the beginning. How you feeling?
Hey, man, this is huge, man. Like I said, anytime we talk about accomplishments and milestones, I just always go back to Morgan State University, man. It was probably around 2011, 2012. I met Dre, and as soon as I met him, I realized we don't agree on nothing. That's what I realized. And that's back when First Take was actually a pretty good show. And I was a frequent watcher of it. And we had the same style, such as like a Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Just always knocking heads, not really agreeing on nothing, but that makes for better content. And he asked they asked that question to me, and he was in the radio station, and he said, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast? We need a show." No, he said, "We need a show." And I was like, "Absolutely, we need a show." But he kind of just said it, and then we left it at that. Then like maybe a week or two later, he's like, "Yo, but I think we could do this for real." Talked about it. We was in the studio, and we was like, "Hey man, let's just do it. Let's just do it." And several years down the line, and we're here. I think we're on like year 7, 8. I lost count, Dre. I think 8 will be this fall. This fall will be 8. I think
coming up on 8.
Yeah, I think that this fall will be 8. And yeah, we've grown a lot, and it was just us two at first, and then we expanded and we continue to grow, and we got some good brothers on the squad now that's contributing a massive amount. I can't say I thought that we would be here, because I didn't think that far ahead. I just like chopping it up with sports and telling Dre how wrong he is. Like that's what this was. And to see what it's growing to now is absolutely amazing, man. And congratulations to you, Dre, for having this vision. Congratulations to Byron and Rod for you finding y'all place in this and thinking y'all feet into y'all roles in this and thriving in it. And just making this thing go, man. We always talk about driving the train or the ship or whatever we drive in. Everybody has an important role, and it shows. It's all making our submarine train, airplane, whatever we driving and go. I appreciate you all for it, yo.
Appreciate you. Again, we got to give it up for Ingraven for joining us, blessing us, bringing the team, keep it clean. Everybody that chimed in, commented, argued in the comments, made opinions, said whatever you said. Shout out to them. And it was the day before Tiffany's birthday. So congratulations. And that means her birthday's coming up soon, Crevonte. Wink, wink. But make sure you guys drop those sunglasses emojis in the chat because we're getting ready to put the kids to bed. We've been with you guys for almost 2 hours. Of course, you can always check out our content here on the Flex Zone Podcast, but we're on Instagram. We're on the Twitter at the Flex Zone 1 and now on TikTok. That's right. We're talking it up. TikTok, all that good stuff. I'm figuring it out as I go. Did a video earlier, got some views, did some more things, got some more things coming tomorrow with these lists we did. The Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok. We'll link it. You'll see it on Instagram. You'll see it on Facebook as well. So you can follow us on there. Hit that like button. It costs you nothing. It's free. Make sure you show us you like what we said, you didn't like what we said. Hit that like button. Helps us out tremendously as well. So we get more content, more videos like this as well. If you want to donate, see it down below. Cash tag the Flex Zone 1 on Cash App. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody in the comments. Love you guys. We'll be back next Monday for another episode 351 at 10 p.m. with Sean Brunson of the Brunson League, one of the best pro-am circuits in the country. We'll talk about them. They got some big-time players. Will Barton, now a Washington Wizard playing. Kill Carr, Baltimore legend. So many great players. So many things to talk about as well with Sean. So we'll chop it up with him as well. One of our day ones. He's been on the show before, so thankful to him for coming back as well. Again, shout out to Ingraven. Executive producer of this program is Laundre Melton. Dre, how can they start that day with a cup of Dre each and every day, baby?
7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I do Good Morning Baltimore, and twice a week I do the Flex Zone Sports Report on there at the 9 o'clock hour. So make sure y'all tune in. We always doing something here on the Flex Zone.
Definitely, like I said, more content will be coming this week, real soon. Pretty much something every day as well. Yes, please harass us on TikTok. Get the analytics, get the algorithm. We'll do more things. May have a couple rants from me as well. Senior producer Crevonte Hurd, captain of the Goofy ship, the Commandalorian, Commander Crevonte. We salute you, my brothers. 350 more. And to our social media producer, the man that makes these videos shine. You see those wonderful thumbnails, you see those edits, you see those things that we do in these videos. I'm just the voice. He makes it look beautiful. Big Raj, once again, telling people how to keep up with us on social media as well.
Like I said before, check us out on Facebook, Flex Zone 1. Check us out on YouTube, the Flex Zone Podcast. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast. We're doing a lot of big things, like I said before. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications because we're coming with more content down the line.
Definitely more. Welcome to the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that notifications. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Again, new week of content. Appreciate it. We're getting ready to get out of here. We're going to turn the music on blast and put the kids to bed. Again, the Flex Zone Podcast, fellas, only place giving you your sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Peace, love, and of course, Flex Zone, baby. Stay safe out there. Hug your loved ones. And until next week, and until the next video, you'll see me in a couple hours. Peace.
Peace.
Good ones.
We gone.